Hello and welcome to Reality Recapped, where I recap all of the trashiest reality shows. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and it's through that lens that I watch these shows and make my comments. Of course, I have not met with any of the people on this show, so everything that I state is simply an opinion. My channel is a little bit of education and a whole lot of snark. This episode is going to recap Sister Wives Season 18, Episode 10, All Your Eggs in One Basket. The episode opens with Janelle announcing it's Easter, and she and Christine are going to dye some eggs and have a little Easter celebration. We cut to Cody. He says Robin and he aren't even really celebrating Easter. They're actually celebrating Resurrection Sunday on Easter Sunday. He tells us there's kind of been a line drawn in the sand, and some people are crossing over and some aren't. The subtext I'm hearing is, if no one crosses over to me, I'm not seeing them. We get the backstory on Easter and the inside scoop on whether the family celebrated it or not. It's about as boring as you'd expect, but basically, Cody decided Easter was just too pagan, and they were instead just going to celebrate Passover. He says he felt more right with God if he was only celebrating Passover. Christine was heartbroken. She couldn't celebrate Easter for years until Miss Robin came into the family, and she declared, "My kids celebrate Easter, so I'm going to go to my mom's house." Janelle says Cody didn't want her to leave, so he decided on a compromise, and they ended up doing a hybrid Easter/Passover celebration from then on. So Christine had been heartbroken to have given up Easter all of those years. Like, you're talking 12, 15 years at that point? But can you imagine the bittersweet moment? You're finally able to celebrate this holiday that you really enjoy. And the only reason you can is because your husband is listening to the newest wife of the family. Christine says there were a lot of changes when Robin came in. And hey, some things got better. Guys, just a quick ask. If you would take a second to like this video, it helps the algorithm share it with other people and it will help my channel grow. Speaking of, we're almost to 12,000 subscribers. So if you haven't yet taken the time to subscribe, please do so now. Join the fun. Come on, we're here every week. And now, back to the show. Robin says it's typical for there to be changes when a new wife comes into the family, but she just doesn't know why things were allowed with her that weren't allowed before. Maybe it was just a different thought process, she says. Then we cut to Christine, who has a real clear idea of why things were different for Robin and her preferences compared to everybody else. She says maybe she just had more leverage because Cody was so in love with her. Yep, that's it. It's not that confusing. It's not that surprising. It's not that hard to figure out. Of course, Robin's never going to admit that she has extra sway over Cody, even though she describes herself as the quote-unquote Cody whisperer. Christine is stuffing 1s, 5s, and 10s into plastic Easter eggs along with candies. I'm going to steal this idea. I like the idea of including a little bit of cash. Christine says celebrating Easter is a little bit of an act of defiance, but mostly it's just creating new traditions. Christine says she's now bringing back everything into her life that she wanted, and now she's going to celebrate Easter. What I'm struck by is the difference in energy. So when we go to Christine and Janelle at their Easter celebration, there's so much happiness, and it's just about being together. And then when we cut to Robin and Cody, they just seem so down. It's really clear who actually feels liberated in the situation. And if Cody was so unhappy with Christine and hated her so much, like he claims, she's gone. So you can just choose to enjoy the fact that she's gone and enjoy your lives now, right? Your problem has left your orbit. So why are you still miserable? Everyone comes over to Christine's rental in Utah. The kids decorate eggs. Christine says Janelle's into it. She's decorating too. And I'll tell you, Janelle was team 2 pagan a million years ago, but she's here and she's getting into it. I think Janelle is just pretty much a go with the flow. She isn't going to throw a stink about anything. It's just not her personality to do that. So I think if she was at home, I doubt that she would have boiled eggs and started decorating and celebrating Easter. But hey, there's an opportunity for the larger family to gather and enjoy the day. So she's going to go and she's going to have a great attitude about it. Cody says, we can mend things. We can fix things. We can get most of our family back together. But right now I'm focused on the life that I have with Robin and her children. And I'm okay with that, even though I hope we can fix things. Janelle says they need to focus on creating or continuing traditions for her and Christine's kids to move into the new version of their family so that there's an identity there. Cody says, an identity without their dad? This is exactly what Christine and Janelle's plan is, to separate me from my children so they can have them all to themselves. It's almost like Cody has forgotten he has a cell phone and it can call out. The family hunts for Easter eggs. Christine says they're all down to hunt for Easter eggs because of the money she put into the plastic eggs. Hey, sign me up too, Christine. Christine says there's no tension at this gathering. When we moved to Flagstaff, there was always a lot of tension when we got together. So it's really nice to just be able to enjoy the day and not feel on edge. And now we cut from this vibrant, happy scene to Robin, who seems real down.
I go through this process of mourning. It literally hurts my heart when I think about the fact that we're not doing these things together.
It seems like Robin really legitimately is sad that she's not doing things with other people. And then they put in this clip with Mary, where Mary is like, hey, I've just been at home and no one invited me over for Easter. So even the people that she's supposedly not at odds with aren't being invited over to her house. So how legitimate is what Robin is saying? If you want everyone to be together and you're not at odds with Mary and you want her to stay, why didn't you invite her over for your Easter/Passover celebration? Janelle says it's a different experience of a holiday. She isn't missing Cody, Robin, or Mary. She says she's probably at the most peace she's felt in a long time at this holiday. Mary is in Parowan, Utah, at her B&B with her best friend Jen and Jen's husband Sean. They've cleaned out the carriage house, getting it ready for the clothing business to move in. Mary says Jen is really there for her, and she gets a lot of support from her. She says there were periods of time where she had relationships that were similar to the one with Jen, with different members of her family. She had it especially with Christine. Her relationship with Robin was a bit more serious. There was a lot of heaviness now, like who likes who wants to get rid of who. Mary says she doesn't allow herself to just really let loose and have fun because she doesn't have that trust. She has the trust with Jen, but not with the members of her family. Cody says they've been distant for a while, but it's been amiable. He doesn't know what to do with a marriage that's supposed to be eternal, but doesn't have any fire. Robin is talking crazy. She says if Mary can just hang out until they can heal from Christine leaving, and once Janelle and Cody get their stuff figured out, and once Cody gets his anger and emotions worked through, then they can get everything worked out again. I don't know if the earth will still be habitable by that time, Robin. And why should Mary hang out for another second? It's been, 7 years according to Cody, and it's been 12 years according to Mary. And there wasn't a divorce or two in the way for all of that time. So moving Mary to the back of every line and expecting her to wait as if she doesn't deserve better feels so incredibly cruel. How can you watch someone be treated this way and think they should just be more patient? Jen's husband is doing little kind things for Mary, like washing her car. Mary says he does these things for Jen and just ends up including her by default because she's her best friend. I don't know the ins and the outs of Jen and her hubby, but they have been in Mary's life for a long time, and they went through a period where Jen could have sold stories to tabloids, and she didn't. She never talked about the family. So I think Jen has proven so far that she's a very reliable friend and is really there for Mary. I'm so relieved that Mary has people who like to be around her and who are treating her with kindness and showing her how she should be treated. Mary, just like everybody else, has her flaws, but she deserves to be treated with way more respect than she was being treated by Cody and Robin. In her confessional, Mary talks about her decision to move to Parowan.
It makes me happy. Like, this is a good decision for me.
I'm really excited to see Mary making decisions that are good for her, because for so long she thought, I'll just keep on waiting for Cody and I will keep on doing whatever I need to do. And sure, she's saying that she's not leaving, but we know that she does, and she's baby stepping her way out of there. And hey, baby steps are better than no steps, right? Cody says his whole life seems to revolve around he and Robin's relationship. Huh, Cody, you think? People have been yelling this at you for years, but okay, he's finally realized it. Robin keeps telling him to patch things up with his wives and his kids, but he just doesn't feel a flicker or a flame when he's around them. So it's been weird. He's married to the love of his life, and he's got these other people he's supposed to care for, and clearly he doesn't. He says he could reconcile with Janelle, but she's going to have to stop hanging out with Christine. Christine has way too much influence on Janelle, he says, and he doesn't want to tell Janelle because she's just going to go tell Christine, and then she'll find out about it, and the kids would find out about it. Hey, Cody, you see those cameras, like right in front of you? Well, they are recording everything that you're saying right now. Christine and the kids, and all of us viewers, hi. No, you don't want Janelle to be friends with Christine. You have just said it out loud. Gabe and Garrison weren't able to come over for Easter, so Christine is hosting a dinner at a rental in Flagstaff. Janelle says getting together makes her feel like there's continuity after the divorce. It's July, but they bring up the holidays for next year because all of the kids are all over the country, so they need to plan ahead. They all decide to go to Christine's house for Thanksgiving. Janelle says Logan was thinking about hosting at his house too. Christine asks if Janelle is going to celebrate separately from Robin and Cody this year. Janelle says, yeah, probably. I don't think that I'll ever celebrate a holiday with Cody again. Janelle tells her kids, if you guys want to stay in Flagstaff for Christmas, we can. Garrison says, why would we do that? That would be so boring. Christine says, I think Garrison and Gabe are hurt. They used to have a great relationship with Cody. It's so sad to see what it's like now. So the kids are going through a very difficult thing, obviously, but they're lucky in the sense that Cody has been a crap father to most of them. If there was only one child that Cody was rejecting, I think the kid would be more likely to internalize the rejection, meaning they may think that they're inadequate or unlovable in some way, and that's why their father wasn't showing love to them. But when it's happening to most of your siblings, if not all, you're much more likely to see this alienation as an issue with that parent rather than internalizing it and making it an issue about themselves. Some kids may still feel somewhat unsure of their value or whether they did everything they could on their side to maintain their relationship. But I hope that they can at least lean on one another and not personalize how Cody is showing up as a father to them. That it doesn't have anything to do with what they are doing. It's really a byproduct of his values that are really skewed. Cody tells us Janelle's become compliant with Gabriel and Garrison, and that wrecked their relationship. He says he's done nothing wrong to them, but try to make them accountable. And Janelle and Christine do not know anything about accountability. A few thoughts here. The first thought I want to talk about is Cody's use of the word compliant. The way he is speaking sounds very misogynistic to me. Janelle is his wife, and according to him, should be quote-unquote compliant to him. Cody can't possibly conceive that Janelle has a whole brain up there, a few feet from her lady parts, and that brain is as valid as any other brain on the planet, male included. Janelle disagreed with Cody because Cody was wrong. But from Cody's perspective, he should never even be questioned. He is the husband. Her role, according to him, of course, is for her to be compliant. The second part that I want to bring up is how ironic it is that Cody wants to try and hold others accountable when he is the ultimate Teflon Queen. Has he owned anything he's done so far? We cut back to the dinner. Garrison says he could have his house as a common ground for the holidays, and he would like it if everyone could come there and just have peace. But he doesn't think that's going to happen. He mentioned that to Cody a while ago, but it was a no from Cody. Cody says, I have a house. They can come to my house. He says he has real loyalty at his house, and hey, his kids can come over there. I think Cody has forgotten that we all still remember that his kids were not invited over to Christmas at Robin's house. So it doesn't mean that they can come over there because you didn't allow them to come over for Christmas last year. I've mentioned this before, but Cody's house is a power trip for him. He gets to make the conditions that others have to jump through. It highlights how weak Cody is, that he needs to create a space where it's only his rules to meet with his family. If you're a respectful person, Cody, you can go almost anywhere, and people will still treat you with respect. But if he goes to their house, he can't create conditions and rules of behavior and banish the ones who won't listen. It's very pathetic that Cody actually needs the security of his own home to make him feel like he has any authority. I would be embarrassed if I was Cody, if that was my stance. We cut to Mary's house in Flagstaff. Robin has brought the kids over to play in Mary's backyard. Robin says the older kids have a lot of respect for Mary because she divorced Cody, so Robin could marry him and he could adopt them. Mary says the younger kids are always so excited to see her. They love unconditionally, and it feels great to be around people who want to be around her. Mary says, even if I don't have a good relationship with Cody, at least I have this with the kids. I can't just walk away from that. Mary, you can. You definitely can. Little Ariella didn't even know you don't have a dog anymore. How long has it actually been since you've seen her? This is the smallest carrot that Robin is dangling. And it was just Easter, and Mary wasn't included. We cut back to Janelle and Christine, who have snuck away from the kids to talk privately. Christine says she wants to check in with Janelle and make sure she's okay and she's happy. If I overstep too much, Christine says, she'll shut down and the conversation will be over. Christine says, I don't want to do that because I'm very curious. Christine says that they've been there for a few weeks in the rental. And Janelle asks if Cody came over while they were there. Christine says no, but she says it like, no. Have you not been paying attention? Christine asks, when you lived on the property, did you see him more? Janelle says he'd come over on his regular schedule, but he wouldn't come over until almost 7, and then he'd have to leave early to get Sal and Ariella ready for school. Christine says she never remembered a time when Cody left Robin's house to help her kids get ready for school. She thinks it's disgusting that he would leave one wife to go home to help the other wife's kids get ready for school. Can't Robin help her kids get ready for school when he's not there so he can spend more time with the wife where he's at? Janelle says in Lehigh, Logan was getting my kids ready for school. I don't know where Cody was. Cody tells us he was taking Ariella and Solomon to school because he liked it. They were working so hard to make ends meet before. Except in the clip, you weren't at work. You were eating breakfast at Christine's while Logan made breakfast for the other kids. So was it that you weren't able to do those things, or is it that you weren't motivated to actually raise your own children? Cody continues, now I have a chance to do this with Solomon and Ari. It's like a second chance, but Robin never asked me to do it. Then we cut to Robin, who says she told Cody, well, I think it's going to create problems, and Cody told me to stop it. This is just what I'm going to do, he told her. Christine says she's tired of being blamed and called the bad sister wife. A bad sister wife is someone who just monopolizes the husband so he has no time for anybody else. Then we cut to Cody, who says a bad sister wife takes her kids away from her husband. And that's exactly what Christine has done. Robin hasn't done that. Robin is just loyal, and Christine just wasn't. I think if we check Robin's divorce records and the fact that you adopted her children from their father really contradicts what you just said, Cody. But he is not one for sticking with the facts. Janelle says she's really struggling because she doesn't actually miss Cody. That sounds like you're thriving, not struggling. Why would you miss him? He's terrible. Christine asks, but your birthday was fine? Janelle says, it was great, a fun evening. Cody dropped me off at home after and left. I was happy to see him go. Christine in her talking head is like, the more I hear, I just feel sad for her. She's my friend, and I want to see her happy. Call it like it is and get out of Flagstaff. In her confessional, Janelle mentions that she can feel Christine kind of pitying her. And Janelle's like, no, I'm fine. We are not reconciling. I'm not hoping he's coming around. I'm not going to settle for less than I deserve. And it's just wild to me that I keep getting this vibe from Christine that, oh, you deserve more.
Yes, of course I do, and I'm taking it for myself.
This is a pretty tricky situation to be in. I think most of us feel the same way that Christine does, that we're worried Janelle is going to stay in this horrible relationship, and we're wondering, why haven't you moved on yet? Because it's clear he's not going to get better and he's not interested in putting in the work. But it's much more complicated to be the ex-wife having that conversation with the one that's still married. It could give the impression, and I'm not saying that this is what's happening, but it could give the impression that Christine wants Janelle to leave Cody as kind of a loyalty thing. I think that's how Cody's going to read it. And I can't fault him for reading it that way. I don't think that's actually what's happening. I think Christine would like Janelle to leave because she knows how miserable it is being married to Cody, and she knows Cody's not going to get better. So I think it's really important when you have friends in a tough relationship to allow them to talk about the relationship without judgment and allow them to leave the relationship when it works for them. They're not on your schedule. They're on their own schedule, and they might be going through things and processing things that you are not aware of. So to sit in judgment of somebody else, doesn't really seem like the most loving, accepting thing to do. Cut back to Mary's house. Robin tells Mary Aurora is talking to a boy. Robin likes him, and so does Cody. Robin tells us her kids have old-fashioned values, so Robin is happy about that. Robin and Mary mention they were married by Aurora's age. Robin says, I had a child by the time I was 20. Mary then says she wished she would have waited until she knew herself better before she got married. Mary tells Robin she signed a new lease to stay in the same house. This house is huge and beautiful. And oh, a hot tub outside. Can I just say a hot tub in snow is the best. I'm guessing it's easier to leave her stuff there instead of moving, but it seems like a waste of money to have this huge house you're renting when you're not planning on being there. But hey, I don't think Mary is hurting for cash, so spend your money how you want. Cody says Mary keeps reassuring him she's not moving on, but Cody thinks she should move on. Janelle says, Robin and I could work for the team, but we were never close, and Mary and I struggled so much. I just don't have any desire to keep putting in that effort to somebody who is so different from me. Janelle tells Christine, everything was great until a year or so ago, and then I began to realize I started changing. I realized I needed something different from a relationship. I keep thinking there should be more drama, but I'm just kind of like, I'm ready to do something different. Christine says, see, I didn't see him as being heartbroken when I left either. I just thought he was angry some of the time. Janelle says, see, ours is very amiable. And then Christine, in her confessional, is all of us going, how can that be amicable? I saw the fight. In her talking head, Janelle says, Cody and I did have a fight. It was the end of our marriage, effectively. I have to be amiable and functional, and we work on that level when we need to. And now we move into a conversation that we have heard what feels like a million times at this point. Janelle says that she's more at peace away from Cody. She needs something different, and she needs more of a companion. But I want you to know, Christine, I would consider plural marriage again. Christine says it's hard to hear that Janelle would consider a plural marriage again. I would not want to live polygamy again.
I like my independence.
Wait, you would consider...
I would consider plural marriage again.
Christine asks if she still believes in the faith part of it, and Janelle says she does. So if I have a spiritual message like I did with Cody, sure, I would do it again. Christine asks if he knows that Janelle is done. Janelle says she's tried to tell him, but I don't know if he gets it. Christine tells her he's living like a monogamist right now, and Janelle agrees. And in her talking head, Christine tells us this is the first time Janelle has actually admitted that out loud. In Janelle's talking head, she says he slipped into monogamy a few years ago, and he was just trying to maintain his responsibilities with his plural family. If I cared, it would bother me. But I don't care. I really don't. They can have each other. That is the coldest burn ever. She doesn't even care. Actually, what I think is really going on is I think she knows this is the end. And I think she's very pragmatic and she's just accepting things how they are. How could you not care that your husband of over 30 years doesn't really want to be in a relationship with you anymore? Of course, that would hurt. But I think she also has figured out that her life is so much easier without Cody in it. I wonder, Janelle seems a little removed from her emotion. We saw her get angry at Cody in that argument, but other than that, outside of that, I don't really see her angry or crying or having any sort of other emotion. Not that she needs to do that for us. I just hope she's able to do that in private to process everything, because I'm worried that she's stuffing everything that's happening and just like, it's fine. I don't care. We're amiable, whatever. It's fine. We'll work through it. And I don't really care. You have to care on some level, especially if you have this deep spiritual connection and you think you're going to go into the afterlife with this person. For all of that to change and to not have a stronger response, I think she's being honest with us in the sense that she is not in touch with how she's really feeling. But there's got to be something else churning underneath this kind of calm exterior. Christine asks if she would stay if things change. Why are we playing this game? Cody is not changing, not even hypothetically. He's finally getting everyone to leave. He's been putting this in place for a very long time. And sure, his ego wouldn't allow him to believe anyone would leave. But one after another, they are leaving.
Like, we've been friends with benefits for years.
Oh my God. Does she know what that means? I am so shocked. Wait, hold on. You cannot be friends with benefits with your husband. It's supposed to be with some rando that you meet out somewhere. Does she know what that means? And is she saying they've been having sex this whole time? I am so confused. Other people have said that they think that they have like a really good romantic relationship. I don't know. Maybe Cody likes to pursue her because she seems so like, get away from me. He likes the challenge. I don't know. Christine says, Cody isn't going to stop being Robin's husband to be Janelle's. Robin has an amazing husband. For me, on the outside looking in, it's everything that I ever wanted in a husband is what Robin, I can't even say that because I'm so disgusted by Cody's behavior. Disgusted, disappointed, appalled. Cody says he doesn't understand why Janelle can't be married with him because she was married to him when he was married to Mary, when I was married to Christine, and when I married Robin. Why not now? We cut to Janelle talking to Christine. But so my point is, she continues, I think plural marriage works if everybody's trying to make it work. My faith would say I can't just easily be released or walk away because our marriages are so sacred to us, right? In her confessional, Janelle says she can't remarry until I'm released. But I'm no longer even part of that religious community. There's nobody that I can go to and say, hey, can I be released so I can get married again? We cut to Christine, who says, you have to go through steps to get a release. And then you're not really fully released until you have sex with the next guy.
It's not true. Sorry. I can't even.
They play this old clip, so we know that Christine is referring to the crazy things Robin was saying about technically Christine needing to sleep with another man before she's really divorced. And Christine is laughing and saying, this is not true. I've never heard this in my life. And then she pulls it together and she says, there is a lot of steps that you have to do and you have to follow. Not everything, though. And I just love that she's laughing about this because it's completely ridiculous. Christine says, Cody is not going to change. Does Janelle really want to be married to Robin's husband? Because that's what it's going to be. She deserves to have someone who loves her. He'll just continue to give her scraps. Janelle says, I just think Cody is who he is. I think he's maybe been this guy for a few years and he was just kind of waiting for everybody to fall off or get away or go away, unless it couldn't be lived in the way that he wanted everything to be lived. He's not pining in any way for the family that he's lost, except for when his ego is involved and it makes him look bad. Christine says, based on this conversation with Janelle, she doesn't think Janelle's at the point where she knows it's over. But she'll know when she's there, Christine says. That's it for this week, you guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please take a moment to click the like button. If you haven't yet subscribed, please take a minute to do so. We are almost to 12,000 subscribers, and I would love to get to that benchmark. So thank you so much for watching. And as always, until next time, have a wonderful week.